welcome! Today is the day you have been looking for, a watercolor tutorial, aka I'm gonna show you how I color my drawings. So this is what you need to do the same coloring as me, okay? You need watercolors. The ones I use are the Liang paint dupes. They look like this. If you want the product, I have made a video like a collab with them, so you can have the link. I think I had a code, but I don't remember. So this is the watercolors I use. They are amazing. They work so good, and I just have my little painting. I do and then I paint, and oh my god, it is so beautiful. It is so vibrant, and not sponsored, by the way. I just love these watercolors, okay? So this is the watercolors you need. If you have other watercolors, you're gonna be okay. Don't worry. It's just, it might not be the same result, but it will look good. You just have to have the good technique. You can also buy the Liang does, if you like the watercolor palette, like that already has the watercolor dry in it. Liang also sells one, and it comes with the famous brush that I love, this, and it comes with a little marker like this. So you have a little kit to make beautiful drawings. So you can have this or this. It's really good. I'm gonna put the links to them in the description. And yeah, the next thing you're gonna need for your drawing is paint markers. You're gonna need acrylic markers. You actually don't really need it, but if you really want to get to coloring like me, you can use it. But I've just started using them, and it just makes my drawings really better. But I don't use them a lot. You're gonna see they're just used to fix mistakes or go on top of coloring, but it doesn't. Don't worry, the drawing is mostly watercolor. So if you don't have this, it's okay. But if you really want to color like me, you need acrylic markers. The brand, it really doesn't matter. I would recommend these ARRTX one or the Enmy ones. I have a video collab with them. They are amazing. I love them. This is all you need, okay? There's just two things that you need: watercolors, acrylic markers, and then you can draw like me, okay? The line art, this might be for another video because this video is gonna be coloring, okay? So let's just start, okay? First thing you're gonna have to do is clean this nasty mess, okay? We don't want this like that, okay? This is dirty. This is disgusting. You know, this girl, you know, we get dirty sometimes, okay? But this is too much. What this is gonna do is, when I mix my colors, it's gonna mix with this type of color, and it's just not gonna be saturated enough, and the colors are not gonna be good, okay? Do you want good colors or do you want bad colors, okay? If you want good colors, you're gonna have to clean this out, okay? So I'm gonna do this right now, and I'll be back. Okay, so my water is clean and ready to be used. So, okay, what do you think is gonna be the first thing to color? The first thing you're gonna have to color is the skin. Why? Because when you start coloring, if you start with the hair, when you're gonna do and paint the skin, the water might touch the water that you put on the hair, and then it's gonna mix, and it's not gonna make something pretty, okay? It's gonna start to be messy. And do you want a messy drawing? No, you want a beautifully colored, amazing drawing, okay? And this is what we're gonna do, okay? First of all, how do you make a skin tone color? So we're gonna make her like, I'm gonna do the basic skin coloring that I usually do, which is, you know, white, okay? So I can have, I'll explain to you how to do it also with darker skin. It's really not different. The thing I would say with darker skin is that it's gonna be, it's hard to make it perfect, okay? I'm gonna show you an example of a drawing I did. So, okay, this is a drawing I did recently, and this is Darius. If you know him, you know. And as you can see, when you look up close, you can see all the watercolor, like, mistakes. Because what happens is that if you leave some mistakes, it's gonna dry, and you can't really fix it. If you go on top of it, it's gonna get worse. So that's the problem when you do darker skin. It might have these issues, but the drawing looks good, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's not gonna be as smooth looking as like this. Like this, if you zoom in a lot, you can see the little color mistakes. But since it's very light, you don't really see it. Same thing with like this drawing here. It's really smooth, really good. But if you look closer, you can see the little paint marks. But yeah, when you go with darker tones, it's gonna make that, but it's gonna be okay, okay? It doesn't look bad. We're gonna do the skin. So I already have a bit of the white skin tone here that's ready. And basically how you make it is you use a white paint. Let me find it, hold on. Usually when you're gonna get watercolors, if you get like the prang ones or just the ones that have the palette, it's gonna be way easier to do white skin because there's already a white skin tone. So you just mix it with a little orange, maybe a touch of blue, and then you have your skin. So I'm gonna use the pale rose blush, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little drop here like this, okay? So you have the little drop of color there, and then I'm gonna make a little drop of white paint, and we're gonna mix it together. Okay, so I finally found my white color, so I'm gonna okay, we're gonna open this up, and we will put a drop here like this. I might put a big one, like, I don't have a lot of space left here because I might use more white in the future to make my little paints a bit lighter. So, okay. Okay. Now that we have our paints for the mixing, oh, also, you also need a paper towel or any type of tissue. Because when you paint, you're going to see, I'm going to do this a lot. Every time I paint, I'm going to do this a lot. Because when you put your paint on the paint, it's going to be too wet. So you have to dry it, and then you can paint. So go get yourself a tissue like me right now, okay? I'm using plain old Scott towel. Okay, so we have our little Scott towel here. We have our paints ready. Now let's do the skin. I'm gonna put a little bit of white here, and I'm gonna start mixing. This is a bit too light for me, so we're gonna mix a bit of this skin tone right here. We're gonna add a little red here. Ooh, this is looking good. So now I'm just gonna flip the paper and try it out. This is what I'm looking for. I might add a little bit white because I'm thinking of making her like really like light skin. Not light skin, but I mean like I want to make her pale. Sorry, you know the words, they get hard sometimes. Okay. Now that I have my skin tone, I'm just gonna make a bit more of it because this is a kind of a big drawing. So I'm gonna need way more of it. So I'm just gonna mix a bit more, and we're gonna have our skin tone real soon. Gonna add a bit of blue also to just make it more like less saturated. And I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Now this is gonna be the time where you start to color. So what do you have to do? We're not gonna start with the face. We're gonna start with the neck and shoulders. So I have a lot of accessories on the drawing, but since we're gonna use acrylic markers, it's not that bad if I go over it by accident, because acrylic markers, it kind of works like layers. Acrylic markers is gonna be the top layer, so it's gonna go over everything, okay? So we're gonna start with the neck, and also when you paint, you have to think about which spots are gonna be the lightest and the darkest in your drawing. So when I start, you're gonna see there's gonna be some spots that I don't put a lot of color because I want the lighting to be that side, okay? So let's just start. So as you can see, I am painting. I'm leaving some white here. Then I'm painting. See here, there's a bit too much watercolors. So I'm gonna bring it down here. I'm gonna leave it here. And then this part of the neck is done. I take a bit more color. Then I go here. I think about the spots that are gonna be lighter, so I don't go over them. We're gonna keep this here. I add a bit more water. I mix. You go like this. Tack, 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 tack. I'll add. Okay, this is gonna be okay like this. I add more light here. Gonna make this a bit like that. I mix. And here we're gonna make it really light so that it looks like the light is coming. Okay, this side is done. Then I have to make a bit more color. So I'm just gonna mix a bit. Okay, So then we are going to go here. Now we are mixing. We are doing the do-do-do-do-do. We're just doing like we're doing. You really, it's not that much thinking, okay? Then you dry this because here there's too much watercolor. So if you want to make spots a bit lighter that you already painted, you just have to dry your brush, then you go over the area. So now you see it's getting a bit lighter because it's absorbing the paint. So you do that to the areas where you wanted some highlights. Here we can go like this. I wet this a bit, I dry it just to make a little bit of blending. It also serves a lot to blend. So see here there's not really the color difference. So now it's blended way better. Like this. Okay. I think this part is done. So we're gonna let this part dry naturally. I see that there's a bit too much water here. Okay. And we're gonna go onto the face. And then when I paint, it's really like layers, okay? So this is the first layer, the basic layering. So we're doing the basic layering, and then I'm gonna wait until this dries, and then we'll add more, okay? But for the face, we're not gonna wait until it dries completely, because we have to add the blush. So for this part, the face is really like, just think where there's gonna be highlights, and don't paint there, and just go around it. For me, the face is my favorite part to draw, obviously. But I like the body too, but it's really like... Okay, so as you can see, I put a bit too much pencil on my drawing. So the pencil marks are actually going on the paint, but it's okay. Don't worry, everything happens for a reason, okay? Don't worry, nobody's gonna mess up anything, okay? We're doing good right now. We're painting like usually. Also, go over the lips, okay? It doesn't matter. And I actually like the kind of gray that it added onto the drawing because we wanted to make her lighter. So as you can see, the shades are not the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Take a bit of black, mix it, and add it here. Just to add the same effect of the kind of gray skin. I really like that it did that onto itself. So we're going to add it to the bottom to make it a bit grayish, because who doesn't like a bit of gray people, you know? Who's gonna judge? Nobody. I'm not gonna judge, you're not gonna judge, so why are we judging? So yeah, so a bit of gray arrived on the drawing, and you know what, you just have to adapt, you know, you just have to stick to what you're doing and do the painting like you want to. It's not gonna mess up anything, okay? So the drawing is a bit too much wet, so we're gonna remove a bit of the wet that's here. I like that the pencil is blending with the colors, so when we can kind of do the eyeshadow look here. You might not be drawing the same thing as me, so if this is happening to you, maybe don't do it, but for me, I'm doing it because I want the eyeshadow effect. So me, I'm blending this a bit, you know, I'm making like the gray here, I'm bringing it here. You don't have to worry, you know, nothing is gonna mess up your drawing, okay? You're painting with me right now, okay? Think you're painting with me. Everything is gonna be okay, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? You don't have to stress, okay? We're doing this together, you know, we're doing the shading, we're doing everything. Don't worry, okay? Don't stress out. Everything is gonna be okay. So, if sometimes you really want a white spot, but you've already put the paint, what you do is you whip out a little page here, you do this, a little thing, and then you remove a bit of water here. We'll add a bit of water here, and then what you do is you stomp. Whoop, 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 and whoop. Okay. This is looking good. I like the shading. We are doing some shading. Okay. We are doing some shading. Okay, so we're gonna add a bit of water here. Then we're gonna dry it out. You know, okay, you're starting to get the rhythm, okay? I'm doing this very fast, but you're starting to get it. Okay. This is kind of the first layer. It's looking good. This we're gonna dry out with a hair dryer from the 1950s, really old hair dryer. Let's hope that it works, because sometimes it doesn't work. As you can see, it's been used for my watercolors. That's why it's dirty, ugly, but it doesn't matter, because guess what? It works. So let's just do that. This is dry, and now we're gonna make a bit of fixing. We're gonna add some water here. Like I said again, we're just gonna remove a bit of pigment that's here. There's no problem. We're just doing some stomping like I showed you. Some stomping, and then we're gonna add the lightest shadow we made here. Just to make it a bit, you know, there was too much darkness here. So we're just fixing some things up. You can never fail, okay? You can never make something look bad. You can always fix it, okay? This is why I tell myself when I paint, because I know I can fix everything, okay? I'm the queen of fixing, and you're gonna be the queen, king, or, you know, other thing of, not thing, but, okay, I just don't know the word, okay? Yeah. Everybody can fix things. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? Okay. Now we're gonna do the sink it layer, which is the starting of doing the shading. So it's just gonna be very light shading. And now that we're doing the kind of very pale character, I'm gonna do the shading a bit darker than usual. It's not gonna be that saturated. If you wanted more saturated, you just add a bit more red. But now we're doing we're gonna start with a very light shading, okay? Let me mix some brown here. Oh, a bit too much red I put. Can fix it with this. Add some of this here. Add some of this here. We're gonna add some kind of here. Add some blue, of course. Okay. Now we have the basic shading, and we're gonna start doing it at the most important parts, like here. So you do this at this nose like this, and this part you make it really wet so that you can blend. Oh my god, look, it's a blending. And this part, don't use the hair dryer, okay? So you start to blend, you just wet this, and then you go like this. If you want it to blend more, just add more color, and it's gonna blend, okay? Don't worry. Okay, you have this part that's gonna blend. The lips, I'm thinking of making like a dark purple, I'm gonna think. But here we're gonna add some shading here, of course. We're gonna add some of this there. This is gonna go here. And this you go like choop, and then choop. Because remember, we put a little lighter spot here. So don't worry, we are following what we've been doing. You want to blend it out, just add some water. You see, guys, this is why watercolor is the best medium, okay? You can really do anything you want, and watercolors are not expensive. You don't need $200 worth of markers. You really don't. You just need watercolors. And with watercolors, you can do anything you want, okay? Look at how I'm doing. This is looking so good. You know how to do it. So we're gonna add a bit more shading around the face. Gonna make it a bit darker. Add some black. Add some little blue. Maybe a bit more blue. Add some of this, like here. This is a bit too much gray, so we're gonna add some skin tone. A bit more white, purple. Okay. So we're gonna do the shading here, like. Then you add another one here. Also, I'm using a very smaller brush for this part because it's really like details, so you have to be very precise with what you are doing, okay? Maybe look at the way I'm holding the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna help. So we're continuing the shading. I want to make like an arcane effect, which like this part, like there's a, I think you know what I mean. You know the shading in arcane where there's like a spot here. I rip out a piece of paper and then I to make it blend. You see how it's blending? You see how it's blending? This is how you blend. Okay. We keep going. We're doing the basic shading right now. It's not perfect, but guess what? You can do anything you want, you know? it's never gonna be perfect. There's no drawing that can be perfect. The thing is that you have to imperfectly perfect it, okay? Okay, so that was the second layer of shading. Now I'm gonna dry this because it's the good parts of dried. So now I can just make it dry with my little assistant, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so we are back to coloring. So on my actual drawing, I can't really see this part being white, but I'm looking at the camera and it's looking like really not like blended. So I'm gonna add a bit more color here. Okay, so now we're doing the third layer of shading, which is a bit darker, maybe a bit more saturated, and it just makes everything pop. But it's not the last layer, don't worry, we're not done with the layers, okay? This is like when you're drawing on your tablet and you have 1,000 layers. This is kind of gonna be like that. Okay, let's start with some shadows. So we're gonna try to blend this again. I don't know why it didn't work that much on the last try, maybe because it wasn't saturated enough, but we are going to try because yes, we want a little blending here. So here we're gonna add some shadows just to make everything pop. I'm gonna start to add the purple for the lips. So you never do that on the first layer, because if you go over that with the white, it's gonna mess up your whole drawing. But I think I'm far enough to do it. So we're gonna make like a very dark purple, and we're gonna go on the lips and see how it looks. Ooh. Oh, this is looking cute. Okay, this is good. Okay. This is cute, okay? So, we're also going to use that purple to make a bit of eyeshadow. But I don't think we're going to use... yeah, we're going to try. We're just going to add a little because I might have to add more shading, like color shading. So, we're just going to add some here like this. Like here like this, like this. We're going to blend it like this. So now it's gonna blend. When it dries, it's gonna be like blended. Okay. Gonna remove a bit of water here. Okay. Now let's keep going with the shading. We haven't done the blush yet. I'm thinking of how I'm gonna do it, but we're not gonna do that yet. Actually, yeah, we can. Okay. So for the blush, it's gonna be the most saturated part. And we're gonna make it a bit pink because I'm feeling the pink blush. But for this part, we're gonna use this brush right here instead of the smaller one. And basically what you do is tack, tack, blend water, tack, 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 press on this, okay. Now it's gonna start to dry, and we're gonna go over and over and over and over and over until it becomes perfect. So, okay, this is not doing the blending that I wanted, so I'm gonna have to go over it with right shadows, and I don't think it's gonna blend, but we are going to see. Let's make the thing real quick, the shadow. A bit more blue. Okay. I don't know why it's not blending, but it's okay. You know what? Things happen. So now I'm just gonna have to do the blending myself with this paper. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Remember, we can fix anything. So don't you worry about if there's mistakes. We're gonna fix it, okay? Don't worry. So I really like this type of drawing because it's really gonna show the shadows, because this is very hard to paint. Okay, this is the hardest thing to paint, is very dark skin or very light skin that's like very grayish, because you can make it look like a mud very easy. And we're not trying to do that. We just want to make a cute little drawing, you know. We don't want to make something looking gray or something weird. we're making it like a cute girl. Like, we're making something cute, okay? Okay, we're gonna keep this here because it's starting to annoy me. And now we're gonna add the darker shade, which go here, here. You're gonna have this part that's here. I might give a bruise. I don't know why, but I feel like it's gonna mix with her like purple thing. So I might give like a bruise here, like she was like fighting somebody or something. So I feel like adding a bruise. So we're gonna show how to do that. Yeah, the spot of water here. You have your spot of water. Then you take some purple. Let me make some purple. Hold on. Ah, this is not purple. Hold on. Oh, well, actually, you're going to start with yellow, so it's okay. So you add some yellow here. We're going to wait until it dries a bit. Then you add some green. Because you know a bruise has a little of green and a bit of gray. And then you add the purple. Okay, so when this is gonna dry, it's gonna look more like a bruise, but right now it's just blending together. Okay, we're not gonna touch this. Okay, let's keep going. Oh my god, she looks so beautiful. She looks so cool. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so as you can see, we're not doing the hair yet. The hair is the last part, okay? We're gonna fix this here because it's starting to go everywhere. Okay, now we're gonna do the second layer of the blush. So, okay, you add a bit more pink like this. You add a bit more white like this. Maybe really more white, okay? Like this, okay. Then you go like this. You add like this. Look, this looks really saturated, but don't worry. Don't worry, it's not gonna look like that. You dry it, you touch it, you dry it, you touch it, you dry it, you touch it. You know, it's just a game of touching and drying and touching and drying. And when I do this, I do little taps, okay? Don't spread it because it's gonna get worse if you spread it. Okay. Now we're gonna dry this right now. Hold on. So there's a bit too much water on her eyeshadow, so we're gonna dry this because if I go too hard, it's gonna bring the water everywhere. So hold on. Okay, now we can keep drying. We're actually gonna blend the bottom a bit. Okay, we're gonna blend the bottom a bit because it's too much watercolory. So okay, now we can dry it. Hold on. It's starting to look so crazy. Oh my god, I love this drawing. Okay, I think we're good enough to start painting her eyes. So I'm gonna make her eyes black. I'm sorry, but I feel like she has black eyes, like really dark eyes. So if you're using other watercolors, just use any color you want to make the eyes. And we're gonna make it better when we have the acrylic markers. If you don't have acrylic markers, basically what you do is you paint the first layer of the eye color, and then when it dries, you go over only the top here with a darker color. And that's pretty much how I do eyes. I don't really make them that detailed. It depends, but since we're doing really dark eyes, it's not gonna be like that. Also, I'm gonna go over with the black on the lips right here to make this a bit darker. Okay. We are working. Okay. So we're gonna do another layer of the shadows because guess what? This is not enough. This is not what I've promised you, and it's just mid, you know. It's not the usual shadows, okay? So we're not gonna try to go around things or skip some steps. We're doing the full thing, okay? Because I want you guys to become better. If you don't know how to watercolor, you will get better with this video, okay? This is my goal. Okay, we are missing. I need some more white. Hold on. Because now I'm starting to miss some white, okay? I have no more white on my drawing. I need some more white. Wait, did I put it here? No, okay. I need to go get it. I also need a bit more of the skin tone. So we're gonna add some here. And we'll go try to find the white one. I don't know where I put it, but we'll try to find it. Okay, so I found the white. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fix a bit of the bruise I did because it didn't blend so good, which is fine, you know. Everything happens for a reason, like I said. So if you mess up something, don't stress it out. It's okay, you know. You can make things and it can sometimes not look the best. And you know what? That's okay because we are human and nothing is perfect, okay? Remember that nothing can be perfect, okay? We can never make a perfect drawing, but guess what? You can make it always better, okay? With watercolors, you can fix anything. It's not like you put some markers and then you can't blend it, you can't do anything. This, you can fix it, okay? It's very easy to fix mistakes with watercolors, which is why I love watercolors, okay? If I used another medium, I could never make drawings like this. It would just become a disaster. So this is why when people send me, when some brands send me their markers, I use them with my watercolors because this is how I would use them. I would never use markers alone, never. Not that they're bad, but me, I'm just too bad to use them, okay? I'm not skilled enough. I need my watercolors, okay? Watercolors are just really, really simpler for me. It's just how I work. Okay, so we're gonna make a bit more eyeshadow color. So I need some purple. So we're gonna mix this right now. I don't know where my purple shade is, so I'm kind of making it on my own because I'm too lazy to go get the purple shade, but I'm making a really cute dark purple, which is fitting very nicely with the drawing. So we are doing like this. We're gonna add a bit here. So if you were not doing some, if you're like doing a character that doesn't really have eyeshadow, what basically this part here, what you just do is you add a little more reddish shade of your skin color. So this is basically, instead of being eyeshadow, it would be like a darkest skin color. So you just do that, but don't make it that dark because then your character is gonna look like it has like a disease, you know. It's gonna look too much red around the eyes. Like maybe if your character just cried, that's okay, you can do that. But if you're just drawing a basic character, don't add that much, okay? We're trying to give the effect of eyeshadow here. So this is why I'm doing a lot of painting here. Okay, so now we're gonna keep going with the little blush, you know, our best friend, the blush. So we're making blush again. So remember, pink here, pink, 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 white, 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 white. You mix it all up and it makes it cute. We're just doing that over and over. We are doing that. You are removing some of the paint and then you are blending. We've been doing this, okay, a lot, so you should know, okay? Just watch how I do it. I can't really explain it. Just watch how I do it. You can put this video in slow-mo or something. But yeah, this is how I do it. We're going to add a bit of pink around the shoulders. Just to add a bit of more color because she's looking very desaturated. Let's just say that. We're not drawing Jinx over here, okay? We're drawing an actual human, okay? That is not starving and, you know, in bad health. We're just doing an emo person. But not emo. This is not an emo. It's just... we're just doing someone, okay? We're just doing someone. So now let's dry this and once again do the layering. So we have dried this up and now we're gonna use my smaller brush to make more details, especially the shadows around the nose. I feel like they're not giving what I wanted, okay? They're not what I wanted, so we're gonna fix them. We're just gonna add a bit more red, a bit more white here, a bit more pink, and okay, we have it. Okay. And then we're gonna add a bit here because I'm feeling that the shadow is too much. We're just gonna add a bit here. Oh my god, this is too much. Okay, when you put too much water, you take your tissue and then boop. Okay. We're gonna keep going with the shadows, okay? Pretend like nothing happened here. We are keeping going. I'm gonna make a very light shadow to put a shadow here. I'm gonna do this on the other side here. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay. Okay, sorry, my rats were doing something and I got worried. Okay. We're keeping going with these shadows. This is looking a bit too dark, so we are drying this and putting over. So then it makes it a bit less dark. Oh, sorry, I dropped my thing. Okay. We're keeping going. The clothing, I don't remember the reference, but I think it was white with like a black under. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna start with the clothing because we're almost done with the shading here, so I don't really have to worry if I'm gonna mess something up. So here there was a strap that was black here. I do remember this because I did make this sketch from a reference, but as I'm coloring, it doesn't really look like the reference, so it's okay. I'm just making my own drawing out of it, which is actually better. Okay. And the beads were black, but this was white. I do remember that, so we're gonna go over the little beads and make them black. Well, it's not black, it's more like a dark purple, but it's just for now. Because anyway, we will probably fix this later with the acrylic markers. But as you can see, most of the coloring is done with watercolors, okay? Don't you worry, okay? You can make this drawing with only watercolors. It might just, if you make some mistakes, it might appear more than if you had acrylic markers. So we are just painting this right here. This drawing is gonna look so good. Oh my god. This, I'm too lazy to go over everything, so I'm just doing like that. Okay. Okay, we are gonna add a bit of a shading again around the eyes. We're gonna make the pink one that we just added around the cheek, but we are going to add it around the eye to make the little shadow here. Then we blend it. Okay. Okay, the face is starting to be done almost. We're gonna add a bit of shading here to try to make, you know, the part around the nose like this. But we are going to make it very, very light, okay? Because I am not that much of a realistic painter, okay? But I am gonna add a little like this. Don't worry, it's not a mustache, don't worry. We are not doing a mustache tutorial, we're just making some shadows. Okay, I'm gonna go over those little brown gray shadows with something that's way more saturated because this is a bit too much. Okay. So right now I'm doing some light shading so that everything can pop together. We're just doing some light work, you know, just making sure everything looks cute, everything looks well done. You know, you don't want a drawing that looks bad, and neither do I. So we are doing the fixing of the little mistakes. And it doesn't take long to fix that, okay? If you want to do it, because it's gonna, your drawing is gonna look way better when you do that. The top lip is always darker, so we are doing that here. Gonna do more of the shadow here. Okay. I think we're ready to do the hair, okay? Okay, we are ready to do the hair. Oh, we're just gonna make the bruise again, and I'm not gonna dry this part with my hair dryer this time, so it might look a bit better. We're just gonna tap 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 do 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 tap 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 do 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 do. Okay, and we're gonna let this dry and see how it looks. If the bruise doesn't look that good, we can fix it, so it's okay. Okay, the bruise is here. So now we're gonna do the hair. Her hair is brown. Does it look like I have brown painting here? No. So of course we have to make it ourselves. I'm gonna see if I can make it with my colors. So we're gonna see how that works. So I have a part here. I'm just gonna blend all of this out because I do see some orange. And what can you make with orange? You can make brown. So we're gonna take this, mix it with a bit of black, add a bit of red, mix, 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 mix. Let's try it out. Boop, boop. Here we go. We have brown. Okay, so I have my brown shading here. So first thing you do is you're gonna do the straps of hair, but you have, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like chuk, 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 and then chuk, chuk, chuk. Oh, sorry. And we're gonna have the highlight part here. So we're gonna do like chuk, chuk. You do like this, okay? You start with the ends of the strands of hair, okay? Just do like this, okay? Just follow me. Here we're gonna do like and follow here, okay? But don't draw on top of it, okay? Just do like this. Okay, okay. You're gonna do like this for the hair. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go here and do like this. Just don't think about it, okay? Just do like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And then you go over like this. You paint on the top. Don't worry. Don't think about it, okay? Don't think about it too much, okay? It can be messy. Don't worry. You have like this. And then you do the rest on the bottom. Well, here. I might have to make more brown. By the way, this is the first layer. So, of course, it's going to be a bit lighter than we are thinking. But this is what we have to do. Because if you start with the dark shade, you're not going to be able to do the shadows and the little highlights here. So this is why we are starting with the lightest shade. You see, I'm just doing like this, okay? Just add some strands, just color how you want. Don't think about it. Just make sure there's brown everywhere you want to. Not brown, it can be another color. Whatever you're doing, just make sure that color is everywhere except the little shadows here. And we're gonna put the brown around here because there's not really shadows here. We're gonna go over some parts here because shadows cannot be everywhere. So you just add some strands of hair. Okay, we have the shadows done, we have the brown done. Now we're gonna do a darker brown. And again, go over the parts we've just done. We're gonna go around the highlights and on the bottom, and you're gonna see. Okay, hold on. Let me make some darker brown. Okay, I think this is darker, so we're gonna do like. You're gonna go over this like that. You're just gonna go like this, like you're gonna go over your shadows like that, okay? Just keep going like that. Don't worry about what it's looking like right now, okay? Then you add on the bottom, you do your strands of hair. So just think like, how does hair go? Just go like that, okay? You see how I'm doing it? Just don't really think about it, okay? I'm not thinking about how hair looks, okay? I'm just doing strands of hair, okay, so that you have some shadows, some buildup of hair, so that it kind of looks like real hair, you know, because I don't know for you, but for me, my style is a bit realistic. So you have, think about all the hair that's going through the hair. Can you see the ears? If you put ears on your drawing, don't draw over the ears. Try to draw around the ears, which is a bit harder. Just make sure your paint around your skin paint is dry, okay? Just make sure so that it doesn't blend easy. Okay, we've done the second layer, and now we're gonna dry this up with our dryer. Okay, now that we've done the drying, we're gonna be doing the eyebrows, which is very simple. Just take your brown, and you have to make it kind of light because we don't want to make dark eyebrows. Well, me personally, I don't want dark eyebrows, so we're doing a very light shading on top of the lines we've made, like this. So now we've got the eyebrows, and now we're gonna start doing the little strands of hair that are coming here. Make them connect. You're gonna use the smaller brush for this, the smallest you can get, okay? Because this is kind of the part where you add a bit of detail. We're gonna take some black. Take the dark, try to make a very dark shading of the hair color you just made, like really dark, okay? Like almost black, but if you're doing blonde hair, just try to make something very brown. And we're gonna go at the end, and we're gonna add some shadows like this. You're just gonna go like this. Don't go a lot over, just go like that, okay? So just do that on every strand of hair you have. Like this. Okay. Just go like this, okay? Just go over the ends of the hair. Like machines do. We're also gonna add some dark on the start of the hair, because the darkest is gonna be at the roots. Personally, for me, if you're doing blonde hair, you also have to do that, because usually blonde people at the start of their hair is kind of a brown shade. I don't know. You start like that. Okay, now this part is done. We're gonna do a darker shade even, okay? So we are going to make a darker brown again. Okay, and we're gonna go around the highlight that we made like this, but not everywhere. Not every part is gonna have that little dark here, but we're just doing it at some parts of the highlights, okay? Like machines do. Okay, kind of like that. Now I'm seeing that the eye has really dried, so I'm just gonna go over the eye I just did there. This is not for the hair, it's just a side note. Sometimes you can realize things while you're painting. So I'm gonna go with the black and just go make a dark shade. Okay, we're just gonna go, you're gonna see, you just go over here and you paint like that, okay? This was annoying me. I'm also gonna fix some other shadows that I've done, because since I'm waiting for the hair you kind of have to make it naturally dry, because if something happens and it's too wet and you use the blow dryer, it's gonna go on your face and it's kind of annoying. You have to fix it really fast or else it's gonna look bad. So now I'm just fixing some things here, making some shadows a bit darker, mixing some things, you know, just fixing my drawing a bit, okay? Because I just want this drawing to be the cutest, the best, okay? We want this drawing to look good. You don't want this drawing to look bad, okay? So now I'm just fixing some shadows, because everything is mostly dry, so you can go over things way more exaggerated. Just making more shadows, fixing some things up, blending some things. Just do whatever. If you don't have to do that, then we keep going to the hair, okay? We're gonna keep going on the hair. I'm just gonna make it a little bit like, and that's it. Now we keep going with the hair. We're going again with a dark shade. I can use the one I just made for the eye because it's pretty dark. I'm just gonna add a bit of red to give it that little brown. And now we're just going around here, making some shadows for the hair. Just trying to not make the pencil lines you made, try to not make them that much appear. So you're just gonna do that. You're gonna fix some things. Maybe here I made the hair a bit too much here. We're gonna make it pointy again. Gonna make some strands here. Here there was a bit more hair. You just start to do that, and you do that how you want to. You know, there's not really a tutorial for this. I'm really just adding more details to the hair, so just go if you want to. If your style of drawing is not that detailed, don't do like me. Just do like the first two layers and you're gonna be okay. So okay, we're doing the shadows here. We're doing like this. We're keeping going. You know, it's looking so cute. Look at this hair. It's giving Alice from Twilight, okay? We love Alice, okay? If you're a Alice hater, just hop off this video. You know, you're not part of the club, okay? You're not in the gang, okay? So yeah, anyway, okay, this is looking cute. This is looking very cute. Also, I realized that I forgot to do a part of the necklace, which I'm gonna do right now with my little black here. Mix it there, put it here, I guess, put there. I'm going very blindly, okay, over it. It really doesn't matter. And with the rest of the black that I have, we're making some gray shadows here. Okay, this is looking really good. So when you think you're almost done with the painting, you just have to make some things a bit better, okay? What we're gonna do now, we're gonna do the line art, and I'm gonna do a speed paint on the line art, okay? Well, I'm not gonna do a speed paint. We're just gonna move on to the line art when it's done, okay? And when the line art is, oh, no, okay. So hold on, let me try this. So, okay, I got a little idea while talking. I'm gonna give her a little nosebleed, okay? So we added the bruises. Now we're gonna add a little nosebleed because I saw that here, a bit of the nose coloring dropped and it's annoying. This little line right here is very, very annoying. So we're gonna fix it by adding a nosebleed. So this is gonna be a little blood tutorial. So yeah, how do you do blood? You have to mix the colors. So we're gonna add some of this very pigmented red here. Then we're gonna add some of this dark shade here. You mix it, because think about it, blood, when it dries, is it red or is it brown? It's a brown. So we're gonna start with a red a lot. We're gonna make it a bit reddish, and then when it dries, we're gonna go over it and make it a bit more brown, and it's gonna be the best blood ever. Okay, so we have made the blood. You dry this a bit, then you go like this. I'm gonna make it light, okay? We want to make it girly. So this is the little thing we got here. Then we're gonna go a bit over the blood and mix with some water, so it's very watery. And then you do like this. And then you have a bit of splatter. We're gonna make this dry, and then I'm gonna go a bit over it with some brown. So, okay, when this has dried, you just make a very brownish shade, okay? Like, put a lot of black over the blood you just did, and you need to make it like a brown, okay? So we're gonna go with this brown, and we're gonna go a bit here, just a little bit. You just add a little, and then boom, you've got your nosebleed. This is a very light nosebleed. This might not be the best watercolor tutorial, but this is what you've got right here, okay? So we're gonna wait until I'm gonna give this a little 5 minutes to make sure everything is dry, and then I'm gonna show you the best step, for me, one of the most fun step to do, which is with the acrylic markers, and it's so fun, okay? So yeah, we're gonna do this, and then we'll go onto the acrylic markers. So, okay, we are back with the drawing, and now it's gonna be my favorite part, the acrylic markers. So basically, what are they for? Well, they are for fixing some parts where you put watercolor where you didn't want to, or just to make some highlights and stuff that you can't, because with watercolors, you can't put white watercolor over the dark watercolor. It's just gonna make a mess. So I use this, or you can just start with a white one, okay? Because we're gonna start with the highlights. So first thing I always do is I add a little highlight here. I fix some stuff that's here. I make this highlight way more pigmented. I hide everything that went on top of it. I like to add another highlight here, very gentle. You go very softly. And here I didn't put a lot of white, so I'm gonna put more white here. And if you want to blend, you just touch it with your fingers like this. Also, a thing I do is you go like this on the eyelid, and when you're gonna see when you put the line art, it's gonna look way better, but this is just so that you can see good. I add a bit more white here. Gonna add a bit of a white under here, and we're gonna add white surrounding this part here. A little white here, a little white here. See, it's just making some highlights at parts that you couldn't really do with markers. Here, remember this part is very white, so I'm just putting white everywhere so that it looks good. Then I'm gonna find a black one, and I'm gonna do the eyes. this. Okay, this pen is a bit, I broke it a bit because I touched some glue and then it made it a bit like texture. So we're just gonna make like this. Then I'll use the black again to make the little beads a bit more like darker. So we're just doing like this. So I'm just making little dots. You really don't have to think a lot when you use these markers, which this is why I love them. They are a lifesaver. Then I'm adding a bit of shadow for the little beads that I made. So we're doing some shadows. Just go with your feeling, you know, just go how you want to. There's no way to do it. This is just how I do it. Then I'm gonna use the gray for the little part here. You see, I don't really use acrylic markers that much. It's not like the whole drawing, so you can do this without acrylic markers. It's just for me, I love to fix my drawings with them. Like this. We are covering like this. We're just making some better shadows, you know. It's nothing that crazy. We're also gonna add some highlights to the lips with some purple. We're adding here. I'll also add a bit here, just a little bit. This is way too much. I'm gonna blend it. Okay, now it's a bit better. Then I'll use my white one. We have to make very small dots. Okay. The skin. Oh, sorry, we couldn't see. Okay, so for this part, I'm covering a bit of the watercolors that went over the clothes so that everything looks like it's well done. We're just fixing some things, you know. This is why those markers are very useful. They're for the little parts that sometimes you mess up, that are hard to repair with only watercolors. And this is why I love them. Here we're gonna go over the eyes so they are a bit more white instead of this kind of grayish. Then I'll take my skin tone and I'll go under the eye a bit, like here. This. Then I'll go with my white and add the highlight of the eye. Okay, kind of like this. We might fix it when it dries, but right now it's looking okay. I'm gonna need some brown for the hair to add a bit more strands of hair that are a bit lighter over the darker ones. You can't do that with watercolors. This is why I'm using markers. Here you go. Look at this. It is looking so beautiful. And it's not a lot, you know, you don't need to add a lot. If you do too much, it's not gonna look like watercolors anymore. You want to keep that watercolor effect. So we are going very smoothly over the hair. Not a lot, just a little bit to add some different colors. Okay, it's looking pretty good like this. I'm gonna add, what else can I add? Maybe a bit more detail for the dress. I'm gonna add some of this. Okay, and then I'll add a bit more black for the beads, the little thing. Oh, I think okay. I'll use this little ARRTX acrylic pen that is like that. It's not a brush, it's really circled, so it's gonna be way easier to do these little things like this. See? Way easier. Okay. Okay. like machines do when I miss you. See, there's not a lot, but it did make everything a bit better, you know. This is why I use it. As you can see, I didn't use a lot, but we'll just add a bit more. I'll fix some places where I put maybe too much shadows. And I'll go like this over it, just to fix some things up. It's not a lot, like I said, it's just little things to fix that are very easy, and they wouldn't look that much bad if you didn't fix it. It's just some parts that I want to make a bit more blended, or just a bit more better, you know. It's not a lot, it's just a little bit. Okay. Okay. I think we are done with the acrylic pen. So you see, oh wait, hold on. I'll add another shadow on the nose, but I think I'll do this with watercolor. So this will be the last watercolor I do. Just a little bit, because this part of the nose is very annoying. Hold on. Okay, this is looking a bit better. It's making me happier. We're just fixing this up. Okay. Okay, so now that the acrylic part is almost done, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the line art, and I'm not doing a tutorial on line art, so I'll do the line art quietly without the filming, and when I'm done, we're gonna do the last step of detailing with the acrylic markers. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so we are done with the line art, and next step is just to do the finishing touches. We're not gonna go with watercolors, but we are going to do with acrylic markers. So what do I do with acrylic markers when I'm done? Well, I just go over the watercolors that is kind of like out of nowhere over the line art. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just fixing some parts because you can't do that with watercolors. So I'm using my acrylic markers to just fix some things up, remove some sketches, just make everything a bit like better towards the coloring, fixing some lines that shouldn't be there. It's really useful for this. You just go over like this, and then boom, look, it's looking way more cleaner, you know. It's not looking that messy. If you're doing a background, well, you just use the color of a marker that looks like the color of your background, and you go over it. That's what you do. Here I went a bit over the line art, so we're just gonna fix that real quick, like like this. Here you go. Okay, we're also going to fix some of the sketches that you can still see on the skin. I'm going to use my skin tone shade to do that. It doesn't matter if it doesn't look perfect like the skin tone. It's just to hide the sketches the sketch marks. So we're just going over that. Here we're going to fix this up more. Anyway, when the acrylic marker dries, it becomes way lighter than it was when you applied it. So it's way easier to work with. So I'm just fixing some things up, you know, just making sure everything looks clean, looks good. You know, you want to make your drawing perfect, you know. But well, as we've said since the start of the video, nothing can be perfect, but you know, you can make it almost perfect. So I'm doing that right now, making sure everything looks cute. I'm gonna add some highlights for the little beads there, but just a little bit because I don't want it everywhere. Like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay. And as you can see, look, this part is what is really fun to do. But I'm gonna fix this a little. I don't like that it's very white, so I want to make it like blend a bit. So I'm gonna try to make it blend with my pen here. Okay, not too bad. It's blending. It's blending, okay? We are making it blend. Just a little bit, but it's working. Okay, I think like this is good. I'm gonna make this dry real quick. And boom! I think we are done with this drawing. Look how beautiful. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Look at the details of the watercolors. Doesn't she look beautiful? Oh my god. Damn. Okay. I'm just gonna stick this to my sketchbook page and then I'm gonna be back. Okay, so here is the final drawing. I just put it on a random sketchbook page, like a scrapbook page where I put a lot of things that I bought. And yeah, we are done with this tutorial. Let me know if it helped you. I really hoped it helped you. I'm not the best at explaining, but I really hope I could help some of you and maybe show you the way maybe to paint a bit better, the way like when to color, when to not color, how to make some types of shading. I really hope it helped you. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a good night. I hope you have a good sleep, or I hope you have a good morning. And yeah, I'm going, so bye bye.